and welcome to Dadvice. Thank you very much for stopping by. In today's video, I am going to be talking about 5 stereotypes that in my view need to stop. These are stereotypes that are relating to being a dad, fatherhood, and parenting from a male perspective. Before we get into the video, as ever, if you haven't already, please go ahead and hit subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. I'm uploading content all of the time. You can also find me over on Instagram at DadviceOfficial and follow me over there. And we have all kinds of discussions about a lot of the stuff that I talk about in my videos. So it'd be really great if you go ahead and give me a follow on there too and join in the discussion as well. All right, so kicking things off today with the stereotype that needs to stop. Number 1 is military marketing. Anytime there is anything baby products and companies are trying to make accessible to dads, it's like they've sat around their boardroom and they're like, we have this nappy bag, but you know, dads are not going to be interested in, you know, getting something that's going to be helpful for looking after a baby. We're going to have to make them interested. What do dads really like? War. I know. All dads like war. Let's put camouflage on the nappy bag and then men will get it. Aside from getting into the fact that not necessarily all men are interested in war or war movies or whatever, leaving that to one side just for a second, I don't really think that men need something to draw their attention when it comes to like looking after their child. I think just like getting something that is going to be helpful for looking after their baby is probably motivation enough. And stereotype number 2 is this. Wow, I bet you're glad to be back at work. No, actually, being at work all day, being out the house for like 12 hours is actually kind of tough. And I actually miss my baby and the idea that they're at home crying or upset or, you know, have a cold or whatever it is that they're struggling with, and I can't be there to help them because I have to go and earn a living, is actually not a particularly pleasant thought. I think this is probably like a hangover from, I guess, like 20, 30, 40 years ago when the dad role hadn't really become what it is now. There wasn't that sense of sort of expectation for dads to get involved, and so it was just a sort of like, yeah, I'm gonna leave and just go to work now. I can't imagine that this is something that still the majority of dads feel. That's hard for me to believe. It's certainly not something I feel, and it is a stereotype that, in my view, needs to stop. Stereotype number 3 that needs to go out the window is another classic. You're most likely to get this one when you are out and about, probably in town, buying food, whatever, and mum is not there with you. So you're there with baby, but no mum. This is probably what's gonna happen at some point. Oh, we're on babysitting duty today, are we? No, I'm not. This is my child. I'm looking after my child. I'm a parent, not a babysitter. Babysitters are like 15-year-olds who sit at home watching Netflix while you go out for dinner. Like that's a babysitter, all right? I'm not a babysitter. I'm a parent. Just because the mum is not present immediately, I'm still a dad. It's not like a part-time thing. This is who I am now. Okay. You know what I find particularly interesting about this one is a lot of the time, I've spoken about this before, when you look for advice for dads, it's often not really advice for dads that's given, it's advice for how dads can look after mums. I find it really interesting that it's like, as men, we're trusted very much to look after mums. So it's okay for us to look after women. But when it comes to looking after babies, it's like, that is a step too far. You can't be a professional baby looker-afterer. If a man's looking after a baby, particularly in public, it's probably just a part-time thing. You must be a babysitter. Okay to look after mum, that you're definitely competent enough to do that. But nah, baby is beyond you. It's crazy. It's crazy. It doesn't make sense. It's a stereotype that has got to go. Stereotype number 4 takes us back to the marketing room, and this is one that you are likely to see. I tell you the best example of this, baby slings. Now, this is a weird one because baby carriers, so if you put the carrier on and you clip it and you do that kind of stuff and you put a baby in it and you carry it around, very much aimed at men. Quite easy to find pictures of men wearing these carriers. These are man things, particularly if they have camouflage on them. Look out for the camouflage ones because all men like war, like I said. But when it comes to the slings that you have to sort of tie around and you do that, very much mum's domain. As soon as you're doing, oh yeah, soft fabric that you're wrapping baby up and it's all snuggling and kind of very different ball game. But what you will see, and this is the stereotype that I'm talking about, is in their booklets for how to tie them or whatever, you get these like kind of 10, 15 page booklet things. Buried on like page 12, it's like, check it out. Our sling is so easy to tie, even a man can do it. I find this funny because it does pop up. The baby sling is my favorite example. There are a few others where you see it. Keep your eyes open for it. You'll probably notice it now that I've said it. It's amazing because it's, you know, back in the, well, when advertising began, like you had stuff for car cleaning products or anything kind of DIY based or whatever. And they would have, without any sort of sense of irony, this thing of like, oh look, even a housewife can do this, you know. And we've moved on so far beyond that. And yet, when it comes to marketing anything baby-wise, if it's kind of geared at men, it's quite often thrown in there as an afterthought. It's like, clearly this is a product for a mum, because mums are the professionals when it comes to looking after babies. But look, you know, we're super open-minded. Even, I guess a dad could even do this. It's crazy. With men and women are as good at being parents as others. I've talked about this in another video as well. So that is a stereotype that still endures, that has got to go. And the fifth and final stereotype is probably the most enduring one, probably the most widespread one that you see, and the one that blows my mind because it's one that women and men perpetuate. It's not kind of one against the other. Everyone seems to be guilty of perpetuating this stereotype. Someone would say this without even thinking that it was vaguely controversial. There would be no backlash whatsoever for saying this on TV, for example, right? And it goes a little something like this. You know, us men, we're just bad at communicating, aren't we? Us guys are useless when it comes to talking about our feelings. Why is it? Why is it that men are just so bad at communicating? What? No! This is crazy. Look, everybody has a range of skills, and some people are better at throwing a ball than other people. Some people are better at running long distances than other people. It's got nothing to do with whether you're a man or a woman. It's your attributes that you have, right? Communication falls into that. There are plenty of women who are horrible communicators. They just don't have that kind of gift. There are plenty of men who are excellent communicators. Yeah, sure, there are men that are terrible at communicating, but it's nothing to do with the fact that they're men. It's to do with the fact that that's just who we are. It's just people. That's just how it goes. And there are so many contradictions within this. So I've seen just in just one YouTube video, it was a similar thing to this, but it was giving kind of advice for guys who are going to become parents. And in the same video, one piece of advice was that if you as a guy are getting kind of frustrated, or if you're having problems or whatever when your partner is pregnant, to just keep those problems to yourself. Just lock it up. Nobody wants to hear it. That's the direct quote that's in the video. Nobody wants to hear it. And in the same video, it then went on to say, you know, us guys are not that good at communicating, are we? Well, yeah, like if you're gonna specifically give advice telling guys not to talk about stuff, and then later in the video be like, we are useless, aren't we? I don't know why, but we just are. Me, completely crazy. It doesn't make sense to me. Maybe like 20 years ago this was true. Maybe even you have to go further back than that. But it's just not true anymore. Guys talk about their feelings, they open up to each other. It just doesn't make sense. Like, of course men can communicate, of course they can. I think the only limitations on it are limitations that would face anybody. As I said, we're all good at certain things, and some people just generally are not that good at it. But also we're constantly telling men to shut up. We're constantly saying, keep your feelings to yourself, lock it up. And thirdly, we're constantly ramming down this message of like, you know what, we're not that good at communicating. Look, I really admire the message that to kind of encourage men to open up more, I really do. I just think it sucks that the prefix to it, almost without fail, is, oh, we really suck at this, we really suck at that. Well, as much as you're trying to then be encouraging and trying to get people to open up a little bit about it, it's just not the way to do it, because you're just immediately reinforcing that stereotype. Oh, we suck at this, we suck at this. We don't suck at this, we don't suck at this. So look, those are my 5 stereotypes that I think we should see the back of. If you've got any more that you see in your daily life and you want to comment below, please do. I'll be interested to read them. Equally, as I say, I'm over on Instagram at Dadvice Official, so you can head over there, tell me about some of the things that you've seen there. Tag me in stuff because I see these like memes and things all the time, so I'm always interested to see them flying around. And I will be back with some more Dadvice very soon. So until then, take it easy. I'll see you soon.